No, what it means is what the club said in the statement. As I say, it's not for me to make any further comment other than it's been released by the club this morning. So as I say, that's all I'm going to make. I'm sure you can understand from my position and the position of the club, the statement's gone out and no further comment will be made. So I trust you'll respect my statement on that fact.
I will actually want to clarify one point regarding it, which hasn't been made clear in the statement. Supporters obviously concerned were the highest paid players, or the biggest recruited players over the summer, now unavailable effectively for a month. Is he suspended without pay? Is he still being paid by the club?
You can imagine such details don't come out and never mentioned by me or discussed by me. So it's purely, as I say, respect the fact that we're not going to make any further comment. And when details are, or it's appropriate to mention such details, we'll do so. But right now, there'll be no further comment.
As a manager, you like to encourage an open dialogue in the dressing room. You like players to reflect and discuss performances, good or bad. Are you reviewing that policy in light of what has unfolded?
Not at all. Not at all. The environment we create here for the players and for the staff is about giving respectful opinion. Always want an opinion. Never have a problem with a player knocking on the door, saying talk about a session, or never have a problem with that. Do it in the right manner. Otherwise, they'll get a flea in their ear. But it's about being respectful and how we deal with each other. That's the way society is now. It's changing, so never a problem with that at all. It's how you deliver the message will always be key to myself and my staff.
How important was that dialogue, that discussion, that debate last season and the success you had, and what do you feel it brings to a squad?
I think what it does is anything like this goes towards the environment that you create. I think the environment you create for the players and staff coming to work is vitally important. So they come to work every day. If they enjoy coming here, enjoy the work that they do, leave here feeling they're better people, in a better place, better condition, etc., then we'll perform better as a team. It worked very well last year. It worked very well in the years before. It's not just football. People talk about football as this unique world. Far from it. Whatever line of industry you work, line of business you're in, whatever industry you're in, make sure the environment you can go to work is the best it can possibly be, and that's our job. Get the best staff, give the players the best opportunity to be the best they can be. That will never change how we work.
Just in a purely football sense, Mark, then how disappointing is it to be without Joey Barton for the next season?
Not about, as I say, there's no further comment about any individual. We've had injuries, we've got players coming back. The news for me, I'm delighted to welcome back Matt Crooks, to have him back, to have Joe Dodu available for selection is great for us. To have Rob Keenan now back, Philippe Sendor's back from suspension, etc. So we've got a really strong squad tomorrow night. That's the good news for me, and we'll work with whatever we have.
Mark, how do you describe the team spirit in the dressing room? Do you think it's still as strong as it was last season?
Yeah, we're very much so. We trained this morning outstandingly well. The team spirit is good. Don't forget you're trying to bed in a number of new players, as we mentioned, repeated occasions before. So it takes time sometimes. Sometimes it happens overnight. Last year happened very quickly because we had a complete blank canvas. So this year we've gone to another level, introducing different players, different age groups, different experiences. So sometimes it takes time, but I've been really happy with the way we trained. Misquoted again with my comments after the game on Saturday. What I said was that was our best performance in terms of gelling as a team. It was quite clear what I said. No one's ever happy to drop 2 points at home, but we're getting a lot better. We're getting there. The balance is getting better. Players are more comfortable with how we play. And I'm delighted so far that we're making real progress this week.
That performance that you say was the best you've seen the players gelled has obviously come after the back of the discussions. Although there's been a lot of focus on the negative element of that discussion, were there positives to come out of that open, frank discussion? And were you happy to see a passion amongst your players?
People talk about that incident, that one incident, as being all defining. Far from it. We talk every day. We have frank discussion every day. You can't have an environment where you can speak on a Tuesday, not on a Wednesday, for example. It has to be open discussion every single day. Just it's how you give your opinion. It's how you get your message across is what we're all about as a group of staff and players. So I've got no problem what a player says, knocks on the door. As I said, I always use the example of the players. If the session's poor, knock on the door and say so. Say so in the right manner, discuss it with me, and I'll tell you what it was all about. I never have a problem with that because society is changing. They ask more questions now. They want more answers now, players. It's a completely different player to the one of 20 years ago. So I say that's how we do it. So it's not one incident. It's a frank, open discussion every day, analysis every single day, and that won't change.
We just had Martin Wyckonen who was talking about there perhaps being a greater leap between the Championship and the Premiership than he possibly expected. I'm just wondering how challenging have you found being in the top flight squad?
I mentioned that I thought the depth of the squads would be greater. The obvious quality is there. There's no doubt about that. Have we played to anywhere near our full potential yet? No, we haven't. But I'm not going to disrespect the league in any way. I've never, ever disrespected the league. What I just said is there's never as big a gulf as it is down south. And that fact is obvious, I think, to everyone in football. Because of the financial disparity. Down south, it exists down south. Up here, the gap is not so great from the top of the Championship to the Premier League. Of course there's a gap because it's the Premier League. And I'm not ignoring that fact. I just don't think the gulf is as big as everyone's making out to be. And again, you get misquoted on talking about the golfing class. Think about the questions, think about the answers that any manager or coach is going to give.
Matt, Chris Sutton was quite scathing in his criticism of you yesterday, saying the job was too big for you. What's your response to what he said?
Two things. Firstly, as manager of Rangers, I'm never going to come embroiled in spats with would-be pundits. That's never going to happen, for respect to myself and the position of the club. And secondly, I was always brought up to only value the opinion of people for whom you have any iota of respect. Take from that what you will.
Has this been one of the toughest challenges you faced this past week as a manager?
No, it's part of being a manager. And again, comments about outside lives and away from football, you have to manage people. Managing is about managing people. It's about the environment you create for those people to hopefully flourish and prosper in. It's the same in a bank, to use that previous expression. It's the same in a building site. Get the environment right, and that's what we have to do here. And you have to manage people, and it's never going to be smooth. There's always going to be hiccups. There's ups and downs. That's life in general. So it's just how you learn from them and how you deal with them. But no, it's a challenge. Every week's a challenge at Rangers, because it should be.
Is this something you hope then everyone here can learn from it and help you this season?
No, it's just, as I say, it's us moving forward. What we have to do is get the results right on the pitch. It's a results-driven industry. That will never change. But we're looking for progress and bedding in of players and understanding of players and how we work as a group of staff and players, and we're making progress. So as I say, there's no misquote. We're never, ever happy to drop any points home or away, because it is a results-driven industry. But I felt, the staff felt, there were a lot more positives to come out of the weekend than was being reported.
How important is this game, Mark, in terms of not only obviously getting through in the Cup, but again adding to that gelling process ahead of a huge game in the league?
It's a home game at Ibrox in front of a crowd. It's a quarter-final draw with a chance of semi-final at stake. So absolutely it's important. It's a game we want to win. We recognise we face a Queen of the South team, high on confidence, top of the league, great start to the season, and they'll relish the Ibrox Stadium. So we've got all those facts. We know what we're facing, but we're very much looking forward to the game.
Ins and outs in team news?
Yeah, as I said earlier, Joe Dodu's now fit. Matt Crooks is now fit. Holt is back and well. No reactions from the weekend. Philippe back from suspension. Rob Keenan back from injury. So we'll have a squad of 21 to choose from tomorrow, which is pleasing.
Mark, in terms of the environment in which you work in, I know you had the experience of Rangers last year and you got to see what this club was all about. If you're being honest, have things gone up a notch this year in terms of the scrutiny and the kind of the focus? Obviously you were concerned at some of the comments after the Celtic game, and you kind of questioned some of the reading of things like this.
Again, you guys won't change in terms of the media focus on the football clubs. I understand that. I learned that very quickly last season. I find some of the comments disappointing. You referred to earlier, I find them very disappointing. But as I say, you're not going to become embroiled in needless or meaningless spats. The fact of the matter is, it's a high-profile club, and the interest around the club is always going to be at a certain level. So no, just learn every day is a learning curve as Rangers manager, because it should be. You should be getting better every single day.